Welcome. You've joined us for a deep dive into something that touches pretty much all of us, workplace mental health,
hmm
and specifically how some of the latest research might, light the way towards living a better life overall.
Right. We've really been digging through a lot of material studies on well-being at work, our digital habits, self-care.
Yeah, personalized self-care, that's a key one.
Yeah.
And whole person wellness, journaling, creativity, boundaries.
Even lessons from, personal stories and business failures, believe it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So our mission today is, well, it's pretty straightforward. Cut through
Yeah.
the noise.
Yeah.
We want to pull out the key bits of knowledge, the practical strategies you can actually use to boost your well-being at work and just, in life,
Yeah.
without the information overload.
That's the plan. Moving beyond just data dumps, trying to connect the dots in a way that hopefully makes sense and gives you some real tools.
Okay, so let's get into it.
Yeah.
One of the first things that really jumps out is, well, how much work itself has changed. Remote work,
Oh,
obviously.
yeah. Huge shift.
And while the flexibility is great, I mean, who wouldn't want that? The research flags this big challenge, the blurring lines.
Between work and personal life, it makes it so hard to properly switch off.
Right. Just stop thinking about work.
And it's interesting why that happens, isn't it? When your kitchen table is also your office,
Yeah.
your brain kind of struggles to build those mental walls that, the commute used to provide.
The physical separation is gone.
Exactly. So it's not just working longer hours, it's this constant cognitive overlap. Work mode, home mode, all jumbled.
And the stats back this up. People struggling to disconnect.
Oh, definitely. Significant percentages report finding it really hard to disconnect, which naturally leads to more stress.
And it's not just remote workers, though, is it? Even if you're back in the
Oh,
office,
you're right.
there's this pervasive feeling, this expectation, maybe,
Mm.
of always being available, always online.
That's a great point. This always on professional culture, it's become almost the default. And that constant expectation, it can trigger this sort of low level chronic stress. Your nervous system is just perpetually waiting.
Waiting for the next ping, the next email.
Precisely. And that state of hypervigilance sustained over time, it really just eats away at your mental energy.
It sounds exhausting.
Yeah.
And then layer on top of that our digital lives outside of work, social media, for instance.
Ah, yes. The comparison game.
It feels like it fuels this constant checking how you measure up.
It really does. And that's a critical psychological point. We're seeing these curated highlight reels, right?
Everyone's best moments.
And subconsciously, or maybe consciously, it chips away at our own sense of worth. It's not just a little envy. Research links it directly to feeling inadequate, more lonely, sometimes even bumping up anxiety and lowering self-esteem.
And the pressure to have this perfect online presence yourself.
That's another burden, absolutely. Maintaining that image takes energy.
Okay, so it sounds like a bit of a minefield.
Yeah.
But the good news is the research does point to ways through it, like communication,
Yes, simple but powerful, open communication at work.
just talking to your colleagues, your boss, about what you need, or workload issues.
Exactly. It's not weakness, it's proactive.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, this workload is getting tough, or suggesting adjustments.
And many companies have programs for this, right? EAPs.
Employee assistance programs, yeah. Often underutilized, but they offer confidential counseling resources.
Yeah.
Really valuable.
Plus, just having good relationships with coworkers. That helps, doesn't it?
Immensely. Strong support networks at work are a huge buffer against stress. They build resilience.
Which brings us neatly to burnout, professional burnout. We hear the term all the time.
We do, and the research gives it a pretty clear definition. It's that trifecta of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion.
Right. Characterized by, what were the key things? Feeling depleted.
Depletion, yeah, exhaustion. And then there's this growing cynicism or detachment from your work.
Like you just don't care as much anymore.
And finally, a feeling of reduced professional efficacy, like you're just not getting things done effectively.
Wow. And it's widespread. The data shows this across different jobs.
It really varies, but yes, some sectors show pretty concerning rates. If you look at, say, agriculture, finance, IT, telecom,
Yeah.
the numbers are quite high.
What might be driving that in IT, for example? Is it the always-on thing again?
That's likely part of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, maybe a lack of clear resources to meet those constant demands. But then you look at education or healthcare.
Also high burnout, I imagine.
Definitely. The sheer emotional labor involved there is immense. Constant caring, high stakes. It takes a toll.
And the causes of burnout can differ too, right? It's not always the same thing.
Exactly. Lack of resources pops up in ag, finance, IT, like we said. But heavy workload is a big one in the public sector. Education, hospitality, manufacturing.
Yeah, interesting. And professional services, micromanagement was mentioned.
Yeah, that came up as significant there. And things like the toxic environment in construction and healthcare. It's complex.
So tackling it isn't just about telling individuals to be more resilient.
Not at all. That's part of it, developing coping skills. But fundamentally, organizations need to step up
No, sir.
by building genuinely supportive cultures where people feel heard, valued, where feedback actually leads to change.
And offering real support, mental health resources.
Absolutely. Access to counseling, wellness programs, and crucially, making it safe to talk about mental health without stigma.
Okay, so acknowledging the challenges is vital. But let's shift to the positive side. The research is also really clear about the benefits of a healthy work-life balance.
Oh, definitely. It's not just a nice to have, it's fundamental to well-being.
What are some of the big wins? Less stress, obviously.
Less stress, absolutely. Lower risk of anxiety, depression, but also tangible physical benefits.
Yep.
Better sleep, more time and energy for healthy eating, exercise, things that often get squeezed out when work takes over.
And maybe even boost creativity, feeling more fulfilled.
Yes. When your brain isn't constantly in work mode, there's space for new ideas. Plus, better mental health, overall quality time with loved ones, enjoying hobbies, feeling less lonely, happier.
It even impacts work performance, right? Increased productivity.
It does. Fewer sick days, higher job satisfaction, more engagement. It's a win-win, really.
Which underscores again that employers have a big part to play here.
A huge part. It can't just be on the employee to juggle everything.
So creating that supportive culture we talked about, open communication, psychological safety.
And looking at practical things, too. Fair workloads, adequate rest, encouraging breaks, reviewing schedules regularly.
And leadership, does that matter?
Massively. When leaders walk the talk, prioritize their own well-being, openly support mental health days or initiatives, it sends a powerful message.
It normalizes it.
Exactly.
Okay, so we know balance is key. Let's talk tools. Mindfulness came up a lot, especially around managing our digital lives.
Right. Mindfulness is really about intentionally stepping back from that constant stream of digital input,
Wow.
cultivating presence.
How does it help practically?
Well, the research points to some really simple techniques. Breathing exercises, for one.
Just focusing on your breath.
Yeah, deep belly breaths or structured patterns like the 4-7-8 technique. Breathe in for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. It can quickly calm the nervous system.
Shifting out of that fight or flight mode.
Precisely. Engaging the parasympathetic system, the rest and digest mode. Body scans are another one, just noticing sensations.
Even just paying attention while walking.
Mindful walking, yeah. Feeling your feet on the ground. Or the 5 senses exercise, grounding yourself by noticing what you see, touch, hear.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've heard of that. Seems doable.
Very doable. Even mindful hand washing. Or the S.P exercise.
Stop-y.
Yeah. Stop what you're doing. Take a breath. Observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. And then proceed intentionally. It breaks that autopilot reaction.
Like grabbing your phone automatically.
Exactly. And the goal here isn't necessarily this massive permanent digital detox. That feels unrealistic for most.
Right. It's more about finding a healthier relationship with tech.
A sustainable balance. Intentional use.
So what does that look like day to day? Setting limits.
Definitely. Clear boundaries. Maybe specific times for email or social media, not just constant checking.
Tech-free zones, like the bedroom or dining table.
Great examples. And tech-free times, meal times, the hour before bed. Being conscious of why you're picking up the device.
Turning off notifications, those constant interruptions.
Huge one. Only keep the essential ones. And curate your feed, unfollow accounts that make you feel bad.
Makes sense. And actually replacing screen time with other things.
Yes. Offline hobbies, things you genuinely enjoy. Maybe trying a digital Sabbath a few hours or a day offline regularly.
And modeling this for kids, if you have them.
Crucial. Plus, just checking in with yourself. How is my tech use feeling? Is it serving me or draining me?
That self-awareness seems key, which ties into another area, personalized self-care.
Yes, this really stood out. Generic advice, take a bubble bath, often misses the mark.
Because we're all different.
Right?
What recharges one person might exhaust another.
Exactly. Our stressors, our personalities, our lifestyles are unique. So self-care needs to be tailored.
A one-size-fits-all approach just doesn't cut it.
And the benefits of getting it right for you are huge. Better health, mental and physical, more productivity, better relationships.
So how do you personalize it? Starts with self-reflection.
Absolutely. Understanding your specific stressors. What drains you? What
Yeah.
fills your cup? Considering your personality. Maybe using some self-assessment tools.
And underpinning it all, self-compassion.
That's the foundation. Treating yourself kindly, especially when you stumble, like you would a good friend.
That leads nicely into the whole idea of whole person wellness.
Right. This concept that everything's connected. Physical, mental, spiritual. They aren't separate silos.
It's like a puzzle. You need all the pieces for the full picture of health: emotional, social, work, finances.
Exactly. True health considers all these dimensions: biological, behavioral, social, environmental, emotional, intellectual. It's holistic.
And it's not a destination, right? It's a journey.
A continuous journey, yeah.
Yeah.
Requires self-awareness, taking responsibility, trying to keep a positive outlook, valuing yourself.
And practices like meditation fit in here.
Perfectly. Meditation is a powerful tool for focusing the mind, finding calm. The benefits seem really broad.
Mentally, like less stress, better focus.
Reduce stress and anxiety, improved focus, definitely. Enhanced self-awareness, better emotional regulation, maybe even memory boosts, mood improvements, finding that inner peace.
And physical benefits, too.
Potentially, yes. Things like lower heart rate, blood pressure. Some research suggests links to better sleep, pain management, even immune function.
Wow. It's interesting that big institutions are adopting this, too, like the VA.
Yes, the VA's whole health system, the military's total force fitness, it shows a growing recognition of this interconnectedness.
Okay, another tool that came up, surprisingly simple but effective: journaling.
So accessible, isn't it? Pen and paper or a screen. But the research backing its benefits is really solid.
For mental and physical health.
Both. And it's so versatile, you can use it for almost anything.
Like problem solving. I saw some prompts for that.
Yeah, things like, okay, what is the actual problem here? What are some possible solutions? What did I try last time a challenge like this came up?
Breaking down big issues into smaller steps.
That's a great one. Or asking, what's the best choice I can make right now? What's one small step I can take?
And for emotions, journaling helps there too.
Hugely valuable for emotional regulation. Prompts like, what am I feeling? Where do I feel it in my body? What triggered this?
Or even asking the emotion what it needs from you. That's interesting.
It is, isn't it? It helps you process things constructively instead of just reacting or suppressing.
Moving on slightly, let's talk creativity. The research frames this really broadly, not just as art.
Right. It's about imagination, innovation, expressing yourself in any way that feels authentic.
And it's genuinely therapeutic.
The psychological benefits seem significant. It can lead to inner shifts, new insights for problem solving, a stronger sense of self, better self-esteem.
Emotional release.
Yeah.
Creating internal order.
All of those. And there's a positive link shown with overall subjective well-being. Feeling happier, basically.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. There were suggestions for beginners.
Loads. Simple painting or drawing, just coloring even. Writing, journaling, short stories, music, singing along, listening intently, trying a simple instrument, crafts like knitting, pottery.
Things anyone can try.
Exactly. And the music connection is fascinating. Things like singing together can release oxytocin.
The bonding hormone.
Yeah. Fosters connection. And music therapy itself shows benefits for stress, anxiety. Art therapy experts also talk about expressing difficult feelings non-verbally.
Improving focus, self-esteem, lowering cortisol, the stress hormone.
Right. And encouragingly, even just engaging creatively once a week seems linked to better mental health.
Okay, so we're cultivating well-being. How do we protect that energy? Boundaries seem crucial.
Absolutely essential. And the research frames them as key to a positive self-concept. Because setting boundaries affirms your own worth. It empowers you to make choices aligned with your needs, not just others' demands. It builds self-respect, self-esteem.
Gives you a sense of control, autonomy, protects your time and energy.
Right. And the flip side, lacking boundaries, leaves you open to feeling overwhelmed, stressed, maybe taken advantage of.
But it can feel hard to set them, can't it? The guilt of saying no.
Oh, the guilt is a big one. Fear of disappointing people. Or worrying about pushback.
Yeah, what if someone reacts badly?
That happens. Other obstacles include just not being sure what your boundaries even are. Or maybe you've never really asserted yourself before.
Workplace culture can make it tricky too. Or just the blurriness of remote work tech.
All true. So the strategies involve things like reframing no as self-care, focusing on what you control. Using positive affirmations.
Standing firm if you get pushback.
Gently but firmly, yes. Their discomfort doesn't invalidate your need. Taking time for self-reflection to know your limits. Starting small if it's new.
Understanding your rights at work. Seeking allies.
And crucially, keeping it simple. You often don't need a long explanation. No can be a complete sentence. Don't over-explain or give in if they push. But also, don't be too rigid. Allow for flexibility when appropriate.
Got it. Okay, another really critical skill that weaves through all of this. Emotional intelligence. EQ.
Yes, the research highlights this again and again. Crucial for leadership, crucial for relationships, often a better predictor of success than just technical skill.
What does an emotionally intelligent leader look like?
Empathetic, they communicate effectively, they handle conflict constructively, they build trust.
Which boosts team performance, decision-making,
Right.
overall success.
Definitely. And it's just as vital personally. Better communication, empathy, resolving conflict, building trust, and deeper connections and relationships.
Studies even link higher EQ to happier marriages.
They do. And the great news is EQ isn't fixed. It's a skill you can develop through self-reflection, mindfulness practices, really listening actively to others, and being open to feedback about how you come across.
Okay, bringing technology back in for a moment. How can we use digital tools for self-help without them adding more stress?
It's about that thoughtful, balanced approach again. Intentional integration.
So revisiting those limits and boundaries.
Exactly. Restricted times, restricted locations, no phones at dinner, out of the bedroom, specific time blocks for using apps versus offline stuff like family time, reading, nature.
A digital curfew before bed. Tech-free zones in the house.
All good strategies. It's about making tech work for you, enhancing growth, not overwhelming you.
Right. Now, finally, we wanted to touch on some broader life lessons. Randy Pausch's The Last Lecture came up as particularly relevant to living better.
Such a powerful story, facing a terminal diagnosis, wanting to leave lessons for his kid.
And his focus wasn't on dying, was it? It was intensely on living.
Absolutely. Living fully. And enabling the dreams of others was a huge theme for him.
He talked about head fake learning, too.
Yeah, teaching important lessons indirectly, like teaching teamwork through sports. You're learning more than just the game. Or fractions through baking, like you said.
Yeah. And the importance of honest feedback, that quote about.
When you're screwing up and nobody says anything, they've given up on you. Brutal, but insightful.
And brick walls. Seeing obstacles as proof you really want something.
Right. They're there to stop the people who don't want it badly enough. And that great line, experience is what you get when you didn't get what you wanted.
So true. He also stressed being prepared, telling the truth, looking for the best in people.
Being brave enough to be the first penguin, take the risk.
And simple things. A bad apology is worse than none. Don't complain, work harder, just ask for what you need.
His joy in his family was so evident. And that crucial reminder, put on your own oxygen mask first. Self-care isn't selfish.
And realizing he had things inside him that needed to come out. That's a call to self-expression for all of us.
Definitely.
And briefly, lessons from business failures. How do they apply?
They serve as cautionary tales, really. So many businesses fail, right?
Yeah.
And the number one reason, often it's lack of market need. They built something nobody actually wanted. Poor product market fit.
Like WeWork's model, or that Juicero juicer.
Exactly. Unsustainable models or solutions to non-problems, metaphors for our own lives, perhaps. Are we chasing things that aren't sustainable or truly necessary for us?
So just like a business needs market research, we need self-reflection.
Yeah.
To know what truly matters to us. What our market need is.
Beautifully put. Are our efforts aligned with our genuine values and desires? Are we overcomplicating things unnecessarily like that juicer?
Food for thought. Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, wow, we covered a lot. Workplace mental health, strategies for a better life, drawing from all sorts of research and stories.
We have, and hopefully connecting it back to you, the listener, some actionable things have emerged.
Maybe just pick one small thing, a tiny tech boundary, one mindfulness technique to try.
Or 5 minutes of journaling, reflecting on your self-care needs, identifying just one boundary you could work on.
Little steps.
Yeah.
Maybe a final thought to leave you with, inspired by Randy Pausch's focus on living. Perhaps take a moment sometime soon to really consider, what does living truly mean to you right now in your life? As you keep going on this journey towards, a more balanced and fulfilling life.